show, and I have two people here with me tonight that I've wanted to interview for 2 years. And it's really exciting to actually be able to have this chance. And I'm introducing you now to Michael and Destiny Fox of Fox Paranormal. Hello, you guys.
Hey.
Hi. Now, it's what's cool about the Fox Paranormal? There's so many different things when you look up Fox Paranormal online, because you guys have so many different things that you've kind of done over the years. And let's just kind of start back with the beginning, and what is how did you meet? I mean, that's what I want to know. I mean, what brought you together? What brought you together?
Michael's cousin and I had been friends for a lot of years, and out of the clear blue, he sent me a Facebook friend request. So um, he messaged me hello, and I was like, okay, stranger danger. So, so when I saw he was friends with one of my friends, I said, I have somebody named Michael Fox trying to talk to me in Messenger. She said, oh, that's my cousin. He's harmless. Da, 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 da. And so I found out more about him. I started talking back, and over a course of a few months, I mean, we practically fell in love. Just text messaging, talking on Messenger. It turned into phone calls and then visits. I snagged him 1,000 miles away from me and reeled him in.
Wow. Is that what you feel, Michael? Did she
Yeah,
say?
yeah. She actually did. I was at the time I was in Missouri. I was running a paranormal team there.
Wow. Okay, so were you both in the paranormal at the same time?
Me not so much as far as the investigating part of it, but he was. And one of our first conversations is I told him a ghost story, something that had happened to me. When I found out he was a paranormal investigator, I said, I just got to ask you something, and that sparked an interest even more in the paranormal for me.
Wow. Okay, so you were like 1,000 miles away from each other, and and then you wow, that's amazing. And so, how long did it take before you actually got married?
Um, 3 years.
How many?
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I think it took about 3 years for Joe and I to get married. I mean, really.
Yeah.
So it's 3 years. So okay, so Destiny, then when you started becoming more involved in the paranormal, the reason I'm asking you all these questions is because one couple that I absolutely love is Ed and Lorraine Warren, and
Oh,
so
yes.
yeah, I just love them, and so every time there's not a lot of paranormal couples, and so like even people will refer to my husband and I, Joe, as a paranormal couple type, but Joe, he does not like the paranormal. I mean, he was kind of thrown into this. He does not like the scary stuff. And so I don't think of him as like, Ed and Lorraine. I don't think of us like that. But I think of you two like that because you're both involved in this investigation type thing. So, Destiny, are you an intuitive? I think you are. You're like an intuitive person.
Yes, I hold a lot of titles in the paranormal, and that is one of them.
Yeah. And so, but was that something you were always having? You always had, like you were born with, or it came to you as in later in life, or how did? And Michael, I'll get to you, I promise. But I'm just wondering about Destiny on this one. Is it something
Yeah,
you always had?
yeah, I've always felt like I don't know if it's a gift or a curse sometimes. I've always felt something. Like I could walk up to people and just blurt out something to them. Like I was in a parts store once, and the cashier there, I said, your grandmother said she's fine and she loves you and everything is fine. And I mean, there's people standing in line behind me, and I'm like, why did I say that? Sometimes it just blurts out. Um, and he said, my grandmama just died 2 weeks ago. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, I apologize for saying that. And he said, no, no, no. Is there anything else? And there really wasn't, you know. And so it seems like the older I get, the stronger all this has become for me.
Yeah.
And you were talking about Ed and Lorraine. A lot of people have compared us to Ed and Lorraine. We are nowhere close.
Well, I mean, but if since they're not here now, too bad. I wish they were, but they're in spirit.
Right.
So I'm sure they're guiding everybody, kind of around the golf course. But I mean, it's they spent a lot of years together, so it'll just keep growing for you guys. So,
Mhm.
and Michael, what about you? Are you more of Are you the intuitive too? And or what are your gifts?
Um, I guess there is times when I can communicate in my mind with the spirits when we're on a case. It depends. It doesn't always happen. It seems like I'm prior service military, and a lot of times when we're investigating a case where there's a prior service military spirit,
Yeah.
they'll want to communicate through me 1st,
Okay.
and that seems to happen a lot. I've always been the more tech savvy guy on the side of the team. I loved investigating. And, it's funny you mentioned Ed and Lorraine because I have followed them for years and years. That was in my bucket list. I always wanted to meet Ed and Lorraine.
Did you ever get to?
No, I did not. For Ed died, of course, and then Lorraine died a few years later. But
Yeah, and I mean, I was just so thrilled when The Conjuring came out, and we look in the audience, and there she was, and I was like, wow, it's so amazing that she was still alive then, and she got to see that, movie and that begin.
We did
So,
meet her daughter.
oh
We
wow,
have met her and Tony.
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think that would be great. And you've met
Mhm.
Jason, right? Jason McLeod. Have you ever met him?
Yes, I
yes.
have.
Yes.
Last
Yeah.
October in Connecticut.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I'm really excited because when we go to this Defeating the Demonic in October, I mean, I'm only going to be like 10 minutes from the Ed and Lorraine's house in Monroe County. So we're gonna go over there. I just want to go and just stand in front of the house. Like that's how much I'm like so excited to go there. Okay, all right. So can you tell me about what you're doing right now? What is I mean, I know what you're doing. You're going to have this awesome Paracom, the Deep South Comic Con. I always get that. It's Deep South Paracomic Con, and that's coming up very soon. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, it's an event. This is our third year in the row doing this, and we'll probably do it every year they have it. It's just a great, awesome event. And Michael and I were on an episode of Repossessed, season 1, episode 2, um, and we're actually bringing a haunted object that was used in the show with us. I can't give it away because it hasn't
Yeah.
aired yet in Canada. So it has aired in the US. So we're waiting on Canada before we talk a lot about it openly. But we will
Yeah.
have a haunted object with us at Deep South.
Okay. Hey, we just saw Richard Johnson. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
He's a sweetheart. And I think he's going to be there with you guys, too. This is going to be a big event. I'm so excited for you guys. And what else will you be doing when you're there? What else will you be promoting? Will you be talking and doing like just talking to the audience or anything?
Yeah, we'll be talking. We're going to be talking about haunted experiences that we've had. We may go into the haunted object a little bit that we're bringing, but we're
Right.
excited about that. And not only that, Michael and I are renewing our vows right
I
there
heard.
at right
Oh,
there at the con.
oh my God! Really?
Yeah, we're
Yes.
gonna have a para wedding.
So
Oh
we were
my
together
God!
3 years before we got married, but we've been married 10 years. So,
Oh,
a lot of things happen. And so we just wanted to renew our vows and see if it would make us any closer. I don't know if that would
I don't
help
know
because
if we can get any closer.
we're inseparable
Yeah.
pretty much.
oh, that's so romantic. I heard that. I saw you were going to do that on Facebook, but I thought you'd already done it. I didn't know that you're going to do it there.
Yeah, we're
Wow.
going to do it there. Um,
Oh
my
my
maid of honor is Triana Brown. So I'm excited about that. She's been helping me here and there. And I changed the theme of the wedding just a little bit on her just last weekend. And she said, "When did you change this?" And I said, today. She said,
God.
"I absolutely love it." So I'm
Oh,
excited.
that is
Also,
so
in my,
exciting.
one of my matrons of honor is Michelle Perez that has chimed in. We love you too. And also Teresa Fikes. So I'm
Oh,
excited. Three
oh my
ladies
God,
that I think so much of going to be all a part of it.
this is incredible.
It is. It is. Our first wedding, well, our only wedding. Um, he had asked me to marry him so many times and I kept turning him down. I wanted to, but I don't know. I just wanted to be sure. So after he proposed to me about 150 times at least,
Oh,
um, it was Valentine's Day 2014. And I called him and I said, you want to pick me up for lunch at my office? He said, sure. Anything going on? I said, yeah, I thought we'd go to the courthouse and get a marriage license. He said, I'm on my way now. So,
oh my
so we
God.
went and got the license and we were going to do it that day. But
Yeah.
his cousin, being a minister, and we had asked her to do the ceremony for us. She said, wait till Sunday, wait till Sunday, just wait till Sunday. Don't do it today. So we waited. So I had a borrowed veil, a borrowed wedding dress, borrowed shoes, borrowed flowers. Everything that I had was borrowed from somebody because we had to put this wedding together in 2 days. And so this time is going to be so much different because everything is actually going to belong to me.
Yes.
Things that I picked out, things that I
Oh,
wanted.
oh, this is so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. Oh my God. It's like a paranormal wedding of like beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so excited for you guys. This is so nice. Oh, okay. This is awesome. All right. So, okay. Wonderful. So now talk about the different TV shows. And okay, now I just got to say, I just did see one of the promos or I've seen several of the promos, but there's a recent one that it was really scary, and it was for the Paracon. It was for the Deep South Paracon. So it was pretty scary. So I think talk a little bit about some of the stuff you've caught on camera, like or the television shows that you can talk about. Talk about a little bit of some of those really frightening experiences, or scary stuff that you've seen, or whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, let's see. I don't know where to start. If you go to our TikTok, which is Michael and Destiny Fox, we have a video posted there of something that looks like an angel. We live right next door to a church, and it appeared over the street light. I had went into the kitchen, and I don't know why I looked out the window and I saw this with my eyes. And then the next morning, I said, Michael, you've got to go back and look at the camera footage from the cameras outside. And he said, why? And I said, because I think I saw an angel. And he said, no, you didn't. And I said, well, yeah, I really did. And so he went and looked, and we have that on our TikTok. It really does look like it was raining. So I'm not referring to the rain at all. And then there's a footage that is on the TV show that I can't talk about right now. I mean, I could, but I don't want to spoil it for
Right.
anybody,
No,
you
that's
know, that's watching from Canada, or anybody that would see it on the History Channel Canada. But it's some what you will see on there. You can see it now on Hulu.
okay.
It's called Repossessed. Mo Sargi, Triana Brown, and Marika Simone. And part of the video is there. But when we actually caught the video of what you'll see in the show, we were watching it on our DVR while it was happening. And us being the ghost hunters we are, we never thought to go outside. We were so amazed just seeing this that actually Michelle, who's watching, I called her on the phone and FaceTimed her so she could see this in action and see the different forms this apparition made.
Wow.
It's pretty exciting to watch.
Wow. That's like awesome. So it's really great when we can actually catch things like that. And even the angel too. I'm glad you kind of started with the angel. That's amazing. I love that. Well, okay, so was there another TV show that you guys were on too, or a documentary?
No,
or
that was our first that we have been on. We've been on several podcasts. Michael was popular for a while on Rob McConnell's show in Canada, and he was guest on there several times. We are in the talks now with a producer about another project, and so if this comes about, we'll be able to share it, you know, maybe in the upcoming months. Nothing definite yet. It's just in the talks, so we'll see.
Yeah, I have some of that stuff going on right now. I'm like, I can't talk about it.
Yeah, we
can't
can't
talk about it. So yeah, I totally understand. Well, when it's time to talk about it, it'll be time to talk about it, and it'll be perfect. And so, as far as you're investigating, are you still doing like weekly investigations, monthly, or maybe you do specific things that you work on now? How does that work? If somebody calls you, do you just help them? What do you do?
Right. It's hard to predict how busy we're going to be. Our calls usually come in threes, and then 2 investigations get set up, and the third one never does. I don't know why. But when we get a call, it's always one comes in a day or 2 later. There have been times where I try to schedule investigations 2 weeks apart. That gives us time to go over the audio and everything and really get back with the clients rather than do them, you know, every weekend because all the information gets all cluttered together. It runs into each other. We are trying to focus right now on next year setting up some investigations that'll be like Fox Paranormal Fun investigations and going to a lot of different haunted locations. And now that it's fall time or getting close to it, we want to go out and we've said this, and we're going to put it in plan right now. We want to do some video of urban legend places.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds like a good idea.
Yes, that would be fun for me.
What are some places that you think are the good urban legend areas?
Well, you know, covered bridges. There's one in particular I would like to go to, and there are regular bridges, like a crybaby bridge. You stand in the middle of the bridge. You know, we want to be able to validate, or you know, just plain say we didn't have an experience there.
Well, okay, so what about UFOs and different things like that? Do you ever investigate or get that involved where it comes together with your paranormal investigation?
Well, it all falls under the paranormal umbrella. I mean, UFOs,
Right.
elementals, and of course, you know, spirits. and demonic. That's all under the umbrella of paranormal.
Right.
We are getting into more of the elementals. We're looking, we're wanting to investigate a lot more sightings
Cryptids,
of cryptids and
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And on the other hand, we're looking at UFO sightings and too. And we've been studying and reading up and kind of doing our own little tracking. And we've noticed, that everywhere there's been a Bigfoot sighting, there's been a lot of UFO activity.
Yeah, it's true, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it's fascinating? I literally think they come through portals myself. And so the thing about our property is, the whole. I mean, I haven't seen any Bigfoot or anything like that, but there's all kinds of stuff. There's definitely the UFOs. There's definitely phenomenon like that. So it's a lot of different things. I think it's too hot for the Bigfoot here.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, we're not going to that Arizona desert. But yeah, I've talked to a lot of people, and it seems to be one of the guys I don't know, Lee. Oh my God, Lee Hample, and he was on the Small Town Monsters. He'd be a great person. He's in Wisconsin, and he'd be a great person to talk to. I'm sure he'd love for you to come out there and investigate his area. Yeah. He's amazing. I love that guy. So, all right, so that's cool that you guys want to do that. That you want to kind of do some other things. And okay, so as far as your family, is the Fox family, is your whole family like everybody, kind of your sons and other family, are they involved too in this still?
My son Joshua, he calls himself my bodyguard. So he watches after me. He likes to work the paracons with us.
Oh, nice.
You'll see him a lot at the table. He works behind the scenes. He does a lot for us. But he has never been on a paranormal investigation. And there's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
He has prophetic dreams. Like everything he dreams comes true. And he's had several paranormal experiences. And in his mind, he doesn't want to go out and all this stuff come out at one time. He's very gifted. And I think he's afraid of that gift at this point in his life.
Yeah, I mean, it's very serious. All of this is very serious. We all make it, sound so like, oh, just normal, right? But there's a lot involved in this. Is he the one that is married now?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what an adorable wife and child. They're just precious. I have a son named Joshua too. I like that name. So, Michael, on what do you think some of the best equipment that you use or that you think is out there right now to actually do the paranormal investigating with?
I really think I like to keep it pretty basic.
Okay.
We'll use the spirit box, and we use the portal a lot. The SLS. We have a lot of clients request the SLS.
Is that the one that shows the little diagram of them?
Yeah, the little stick figures.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
Yeah. We've had a lot of people, when we get called for cases, they say, well, bring that thing that makes all the stick people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the SLS.
It's funny. That's what Blaine Rohan, when he was on here, he was saying he likes to keep it real simple too, and use those kind of things that are just kind of simpler. I think that's awesome. Do you do the same thing? He said he uses just plain old type recording stuff. What was that called? The tapes.
Oh, the cassette.
Yeah, that kind of the older stuff that we grew up
cassette
with.
or reel to reels.
Yeah.
I used to. I've used them in the past, but mainly what we use now is digital recorders. They're just a lot easier, and they're easier to download onto the computer and run through the audio programs and stuff. So,
do you have a special program where you can actually? I know that our girl. She's on web radio too. We've got Becky, Becky McKitty Guidison, and she has a show on the web. So she was our paranormal team out here. So, do you have a special program where you can actually go through them and hear the specific voices easier?
Yeah, yes, I do. I've used it's called WE.B.B Professional, and
Okay.
I've used it for a lot of years now, and I've gotten some really good results. I'm able to filter out a lot and enhance and bring out when there's a disembodied voice. I'm able to bring it out so we can understand it a little better.
So, what do you believe? Have you ever had anything follow you, come back with you, cause you any trouble? I mean, it's just a common question. I know, probably been asked that a million times, but has that ever happened?
Yeah, it happens all the time with us.
And
usually they don't stick around more than a few days, but they don't really cause a problem.
Okay. Do you do like specific prayers or cleansing or things like that?
Most of the time we just ignore it.
Yeah.
We do have a stray visitor every once in a while, and we'll hear something and I'll tell Michael, yeah, that's something new there. They're just passing through kind of thing. Because spirits are everywhere, they're not, haunted houses. They're just, I don't know. We've had them, and I call them travelers.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're just maybe moving from another dimension coming through or whatever the case may be. Sometimes I hear names. Currently, we have a couple of spirits around the house, and it's a grandfather and a granddaughter. I've heard their conversations at night. Like the grandfather will say, I thought you wanted to go fishing today. And she answered this one right back. And she said, no, I don't want to go today, Papa. I just want to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. But now there is a lake across the street from our house, and there's one behind us.
So it's 2 bodies of water.
Yeah. So could have been somebody that used to live here, or I don't know.
Yeah. They're just living their life.
Yeah.
In that other place. Well, so did you hear them in your mind's eye, or did you hear them like talking? Because I hear voices all the time here. We'll hear our names, we'll hear conversations. So I understand that out loud. So, but is that how you heard it, Destiny? Like just out loud?
This particular one, I'm not sure, I heard it, but it was hard to tell. It sounded like it was coming from a specific direction, over toward our closet, like my side of the bed, Michael's, and the closet. It sounded like it was coming from over where the closet is. Yeah. So a lot of times I hear it, inside. But this one really sounded like it was in the room.
Yeah. Wow. And how about your house now? Is that something that's been there a long time, or I mean, I know you're in the country because I've seen some video. So is that a house that's been there?
It was built in the 70s.
That's a while now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Long while.
Yeah. Where'd the time go?
Yeah.
And the man that built it, he's passed away now, but he built the majority of it by himself. So, his daughter lives next door to us.
Oh.
And I believe somebody told me that they had a daughter pass away. So that would pretty much explain the grandfather and the granddaughter being around together.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I definitely think so. Wow. So, whoa, that's amazing. Isn't it amazing to be able to hear stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It really is. It's really a gift. And so, as far as that area too. You're in an area that is like a lot of history too. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, have you found that the different investigations, do any of them pull from way back, like back in the past, or are they or is it a mix of things where it's like
Yeah.
modern?
In our area, Cherokee Indians and Creed lived in our area.
Okay.
Also, a few miles from us, if we ever get an investigation in Dallas, Georgia, somebody has seen a soldier, a Confederate soldier, just about every time. And it's very close to Kennesaw, Georgia. And there was a big battle at Kennesaw Mountain. And so a lot of the soldiers wandered from there. Um, and Yeah, it was Dallas. I was thinking, was it Dallas? Yeah, Dallas.
Yeah,
So,
Dallas.
we've had several investigations where the client has mentioned, and even one of our clients had a photo that she had taken in the woods, just taking pictures, at trees, flowers, and such. And she zoomed in on a photo, and you could see the buttons going down the coat to the uniform. I mean,
Wow.
you could see the beard, the hat, everything.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The digital world is just amazing that we can catch these things. I'm sure even the older photos too, they could catch things, but it does seem like we can see things clearer. And as far as the animal spirits, I just have a feeling that are you Destiny? Are you someone that relates to the animal spirits too?
I've only had one encounter with the spirit of a animal, and it was a cat that I had.
Okay.
And every night, this cat would jump on the bottom of the bed and then move up the side of the bed until she got to my head, and she would sleep there at my head or curl up in my arms, mostly curl up in my arms. And the cat passed away. And then 3 or 4 nights later, I felt that cat jump at the bottom of the bed and start walking up the side. And I'm thinking, if that cat curls up in my arms, I am out of here. And that was before the paranormal investigating and the training and such. So it stopped. It just, jumped on the bottom of the bed, came up the side, and then stopped.
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything else on the bed. And that's about the only encounter I've had with an animal spirit.
That one got to me because um, so like my little dog Boo, when I first was meeting with Joe, she was a little Yorkie, and I think something happened. Like I was living in a really haunted location at that time. Really, there was some bad stuff, but it was almost like my little dog got because everything started coming at us when I met Joe. Things started happening, and something like got her, okay, and she became very sick, and she died. She died, and that night after she died, okay, um, and she slept with me just like the cat, and I was laying there, and I didn't have my little dog, and all of a sudden, it was like she jumped on the bed, and she jumped on the bed every night just like that, and I could feel her just like what you said. I could feel her walking up just like she always does. She walked up to me, and I'm just like I also like I almost see her walking up to me, and then it stopped, and then like a light appeared, and like she just went up in the light, just like that, and but it was so amazing because I mean, like she was like my son wasn't Tristan, we were divorced, and so he would come with me or he would be with his dad. So it was really really hard, like part of our life. And she was my little kid. So when she died, it tore me up because she was my person. She was my person. That she was my baby that I had when he wasn't with
Mhm.
me. Right? And so, yeah, it was a major, wonderful, beautiful thing because I knew that she was right there with me. Like it was like a real reassurance. Like she's all right. She's just in spirit, and it gave me such great comfort. So I think thank you for sharing your experience. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I almost
No, I'm sorry I brought it up. It made
no,
me
actually,
sad.
it's really a good thing. It's sad, but it's like one of those experiences where, it's when we're so lucky that we can actually experience these things, and
Mhm.
other people don't. I wish other people could experience these things. So I really applaud you both for what you're doing, and the fact that you're a team and working together, and I don't want to monopolize all these things, but is there anything anything you want to talk about that you would like to share? Um, there's one thing I know that you guys recently were on a trip, and I
Mhm.
believe that you were on a ship, or you went
Mhm.
to and I think you were with Stan and Teresa, if I'm right.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So, tell me about that. Like, we've got like 20 minutes, so tell me about what happened in that experience. I bet that was amazing.
It was a good trip. We did the USS North Carolina. Um, a lot of people were there. Lee, Brown, Blaine Rowan. It was good. A lot of people. Some new people that we met. Um, Huge ship, and it was hot. It was
Wow.
hot in there, but yeah. Um, I had an experience up on the what did they call that? The room we were up in?
The bridge.
Yeah, the bridge. I don't know anything about ships, but we were up there, and which is probably about the only experience I had other than, feeling them around. But to have an actual experience, I got brushed on the cheek. And then I looked around and saw the shadow of somebody. Now, that shadow could have been somebody that was up there with us. I'm not real sure. It was dark out there, and if somebody walked out and came in, I'm not real sure. Um, Michael had a lot of experience. He actually went deeper down in the ship than I went.
Mhm.
We did go in the torpedo room, which is not the actual torpedo room of the ship. Um, the ship was hit. Actually, it was a bathroom, I believe, in the side, and with a missile. And we were able to go into that room where some lives were lost. Um, and the feeling in there was, it was, I can't explain it. It was just different than anywhere
Heavy,
in the whole
very
ship.
heavy. That's the
Yeah.
way I would. I mean, the
Yeah,
whole
it was
atmosphere when
different.
you walk down in there, it was very heavy. Um,
Yeah.
Now, Stan and I had some activity when we were running wire and placing some cameras. We kept hearing walking around in the lower deck, and we would look, and there was nobody there. But we kept hearing this and kept hearing this. It's like they were trying to walk up to us.
Yeah. And did they had they actually had it been blown up and they restored it, or
Yeah,
was
tell
it?
the story of that.
Yeah, the ship USS North Carolina saw a lot of battles during World War II, and it took a torpedo, and they called it the torpedo room because that was the part of the ship that actually was hit with the torpedo.
Okay.
And it's not the actual torpedo room where they
Right.
would launch torpedoes. Uh, Several men, I mean, there's, I don't know the exact number. I'd say more than maybe 7 died in that room. Of course, the ship started taking on water, and they sealed off those compartments, and they couldn't get them out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
And
That's just horrible. Wow.
it was interesting. We were doing spirit box sessions there. In fact, I think we were using the portal,
Mm-hmm.
and we were getting a lot of activity coming across on the portal and
Wow.
stuff. when we were doing sessions down there. I kept seeing a lot of fast moving shadows through the ship as I would walk through the different levels of the ship. It's like they were always trying to stay one step ahead of me. I always found, that when you're dealing with a human spirit, they usually will communicate on their own terms.
Right.
And you just got to let it happen. They're probably just as unsure about us as we might be about them. So, you just got to wait it out.
Right.
And I think that's what we were experiencing. I think we were having to wait it out a little bit. And then later into the night, as it went through, they started getting more comfortable with us. So they started to show themselves or make themselves known a lot more.
Right.
So that was a good investigation.
And they probably have so many people coming all the time and investigating. It's like in their house, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many different types, and they probably, just like people. They're just like they're people. So, wow, that's like a big one. Is that one of the biggest things that you've investigated? I mean, this is just last year, so there's probably been other. Have you gone to like mines or the different things, like different ones that they always have on all the shows? They go to these certain ones, a lot of these different places.
Right.
I
Yeah.
guess that was the biggest place we'd ever
That
investigated.
and we investigated an abandoned hospital several times.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, in Tennessee.
yeah.
And we investigated a dam in Tennessee that
Yeah,
had a lot of
Dam.
Hell's Bar Dam in Tennessee. And that was a very good investigation. We were having a lot of activity, but not in the main part of the dam. They had tunnels they had bored through that they would use to bring in supplies and stuff. And we were investigating the tunnels of the dam, and that's where we were getting a lot of the activity on that particular investigation.
Right, like in one of the tunnels, 2 girls were murdered. 2 little girls.
Yeah.
Were murdered there, and we had a team member that was actually making contact with the little girls.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Another good one we did is we did a sleepover, a lock-in sleepover in an abandoned funeral home.
Haunted,
Yes.
abandoned funeral home.
Haunted abandoned
Very
funeral home.
haunted.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we were there for 2 nights.
Wow. Did you stay there like for 2 days or just go back at night?
Yeah, we camped out right in the funeral home. Brought air mattresses and
Set up little bedrooms.
yeah.
Wow.
Destiny and I slept like 5 feet from a coffin.
Oh my gosh.
When we go when we go out to do a weekend investigation at a place like that, I've got a queen air mattress. And if it's a little cold, I have an electric blanket. So I always go prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, I can take any room and make it my bedroom in anywhere.
And that's a good thing, because you have to be able to do that kind of stuff, and just hang out and not worry about too much comfort.
Yeah.
It might be cold or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like, I think that would be I think it'd be fun to see you guys do that, like on TV and
Yeah.
have that kind of, that'd be kind of cool to.
Yeah. We're old pros at that sleepover stuff.
Yeah.
We did that in the haunted hospital. We spent the whole weekend in there on lock-in.
Oh my God. I don't think I would like that. Because I can go, people ask me to go to hospitals to help, like if they're sick. And so then I'll go and help clear the stuff in the hospital. So, I mean, I know when you walk into regular hospitals, there's just dead people walking around all over the place. So I can imagine, there's a hospital, there was an area in Millnocket that I was asked to look into. And I can imagine so this was like a hospital that was closed. And so when you were in that, I mean, I saw all kinds of stuff, but when you were doing that, were you privy to either one of you privy to seeing them walking, or were they trying to communicate? Did they come into your dreams to message you, things like that? When you're, because there's so many people in a hospital set.
Yes.
What
Yeah,
happened?
we had an experience pretty much like a doppelganger experience when we were at the hospital.
Whoa. Okay.
No hot water there. There was water and there was limited power. And Michael and I were staying in one of the old hospital rooms. Each team member had a room that at the time you could stay overnight in one of the rooms. So my idea of taking a bath was I was going to heat water up in the coffee pot and, and then add it with cold water and just take my bath and bathe up. So I go and I do that. And then I go outside and I'm sitting in what they call the courtyard. While I'm sitting in the courtyard, Michelle, which was there with us, that's been chiming in tonight, and one of our team members, our manager, Big Ronnie, Britt, they were sitting at the nurses' station. And they said I walked by with a coffee pot.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Walking to my room, and I don't know, I think I said something to them. Oh, I'm going to take a bath or something. And then they turn around and look at the monitor, and I'm sitting in the courtyard.
Oh. Wow.
So, and I said, well, not only that is when I took the hot water to my room, I had it in a pitcher and not a coffee pot.
Okay.
So yeah, it was crazy.
Wow. And wouldn't it have been great if they like had cameras going? But I guess they probably didn't, huh?
Yeah, not down the hall.
Oh my God.
We had cameras on the courtyard, and they had some ran upstairs and downstairs, I think. But
Yeah,
we
we
didn't
brought our
have
own
one.
DVR system, and we covered as much of the building as we could.
Mm-hmm.
they got the one place you didn't have it.
Except the
Yeah.
one place, yeah.
Go down that hall. Oh my God, that's like crazy. Wow. Well, I totally get that, because that happens a lot here. Like, people will hear my voice. It's always my voice. And I'm not even here, but they'll hear me talking to them in my voice, and they'll come out. Did you just say something to me, if I'm in the other room or whatever, or completely off the property? So I know that they can mimic us and our sounds and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty scary. That's actually scary though. I don't know, going into like an old hospital like that just kind of gives me the creeps in a way. I mean, really, like an old one.
Mm-hmm.
So, gosh, I can't believe we only got 10 minutes left. Okay. So, well, tell me what else would you like to talk about? What would you like everybody to know? Anything? And thank you for everybody. I can see your faces, and I can see it all. And whoever is coming on, I'll make sure that I text you or whatever. I just have my little equipment. Everybody's like that big, so I'll have to wait till I can see after the show. So anyway, was there anything in particular you guys would like to share before the show ends?
There was here locally, well, it's like an hour's drive from here, some paranormal investigators from north of our state went to an abandoned hospital that's posted no trespassing, and they were arrested. And I do want to bring out, and that seems to be happening a lot, young paranormal investigators and older ones too, I guess, but don't go into these locations, if it's posted, and, don't jump the fence, because you will go to jail. And so I just want to put this out there, because my heart went out to them. Young, ambitious, just wanted to catch a haunting because somebody put on TikTok that they broke in and investigated there. So they wanted to do it too. That's not cool. Don't do that. Don't do that. Have permission to go into a place. Plus, actually, my son was born at that hospital. Um, I just can't stress that enough. Don't go into places you're unsure of. And then there's been paranormal investigators who have been hurt or stumble across, someone deceased. It's just not good to go in those places. Homeless people and more people today are becoming homeless, and not all of them are good old people that just lost their home. They're desperate people. And you never know when you're going to walk into an abandoned building and run across somebody that's not so nice and get hurt.
That's very good advice, especially right now, because there's so many things happening. They could definitely run into people that are not good, or it is dangerous.
Yeah, and we're getting close to Halloween now. Halloween season is just a few weeks away, and so I wanted to put that out there because that's when people are going to be out exploring and trying to catch ghosts and have that experience. So just remember, if you don't have permission, don't go.
What else do you advise for people that are actually wanting to do what you're doing and wanting to find a team? How would you suggest that they find a good team? And what would be the good qualifications for them to be for a good team?
Well, with us, when we're looking at new team members, it's trying to find like-minded people. Um, Michael and I have strong spiritual beliefs, and we try to find people that really spiritually believe like we do. Because if you don't, to me, it's just not a fit. We've had people with different religions. Yeah. We've had a Wiccan on the team. We've had Christians on the team. We've had this and that. But because we all had the same goal and we were all thinking the same thing and wanting the same outcome, it all worked.
Yeah.
But make sure, if you're looking for a team, make sure they're a fit for you. And teams that are looking for team members, make sure they fit with you. A lot of times, and we were guilty early on, taking on team members, somebody would reach out to us, hey, you're looking for a team member? Yeah, when you want to meet up, and talk to them a little while, and bam, they were on the team. The majority of these people didn't work. So, really get to know somebody. I mean, you're going to be in the dark with them for a few hours, get to know those people.
Yeah.
I would advise them, if they want to encounter, any type of spirits on an investigation, to be respectful. And remember, what type of energy you bring into there is what you're going to get back at you.
Yeah. Very good. That's so, you always see them all being so comfortable. I don't watch TV really, but when I did, a lot of them are so confrontational, and
yes,
they get that back,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, I know with Becky's team, it's hard work. There is a lot of work, and you have to do a lot of setup. And could you talk a little bit about that too? There's a lot of work involved. There
is, and a lot of research before you go to a location.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys are awesome, and I think that's a wonderful thing to share with people. I appreciate that. I know that Blaine was talking about how he's teaching and writing. He just wrote a book, Blaine Rohan. Have you guys written a book? Because if you have, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm in the process of writing one.
Oh, okay.
It's based on a demonic case that we had, that we had this spirit lash back at us.
Okay.
It ended up with some people that we know actually being possessed. Right. And it taunted us. It did everything it could do to destroy us as people. Right. The team members that went with us, and then there were even victims of this, of our team members' family. And so it's going to be a good book if I can word it the way it
Yeah.
needs to be worded. But I
Yeah.
have Teresa working with me, so
Okay.
you know it's bound to be good.
Well, that's
She's been helping me.
good because that, it's a horrible thing to go through, but being a person that gets out of it like we were, and we're here today to talk. There's so you are too. You all are. You've made it through that, and you have that experience, and you can share it with others. So I think it's important to be able to share how you got through it. And you're obviously alive.
Mm. Yes.
Still
Yes.
standing. You're still standing, so that's good. So your faith or your belief system is working and keeping you safe and strong. So you got a book coming out soon, and then I guess that was all I wanted to find out. Was there a book or something? I hadn't seen that, but I was thinking you might have had a book, something about a book. Well, this is awesome. So I hope that you guys had a good time. I hope you had fun with this interview.
Yeah.
Yes, we've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I know I asked you a lot of, I don't know if everybody asked you questions about how you started, but I really wanted to find out because I don't know really too many other paranormal teams. Well, I know Stan and Teresa, so they're husband and wife team, but I really, there's not that. Oh, then there's Richard and his wife. So there are a few of them,
Yes.
guys. It's nice you're all kind of coming together, kind of joining together at this Paracon, and you're going to get tie your revowed at this Paracon.
Mm-hmm.
At the
I'm excited.
Deep South Paracon Comic Con. Did I get it right? Deep South Paracon.
Well, I probably can't chime in here because I'm prone to say it wrong too. There you go.
Deep
Stan's
South
got us.
Fair Comic Con.
There
Deep
you
South
go.
Comic Con.
Yeah, that's it. So I said it right. I've been trying to it's like a tongue twister,
Yeah.
It's a good one. It makes you think about where you're going, and it sounds like there's going to be some good food there.
Yeah.
I think that really sweet guy, Bill Perry, he is really sweet. I liked him. He was talking about how all the different food he's going to eat when he goes to this Paracon. Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for being with me tonight.
Oh, it was fun.
Really
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
You're so welcome. And hopefully maybe we'll have you come back again, and I would love that someday. And I'll just say God bless to every single person, and thank you so much for those of you that are going to be watching in the future or watching tonight. We really appreciate you. This is the W.E.B.B Radio Network. There's so many wonderful shows, including the Fox family right here, the Fox Paranormal. Is it called Fox? I mean, I was looking at, is it a different name? Is it?
Yeah, our podcast is Fox Paranormal Chat.
That's what it is. So it's got the chat on it. Okay, so we've got them right here on this Fox Paranormal Chat. So there's so many amazing shows for everybody on the W.E.B.B Radio Network. We thank you so very much. I want to say I'm going to be on October 20th. We're going to be doing the defeating the demonic at Bridgeport, Connecticut. It's going to be amazing. October 20th. Look it up. We're getting selling tickets now. We're doing live stream. Really appreciate everybody coming or being a participant on the live stream. Then I've got the Unseen Realm podcast we do with Archbishop Ronald Enright, which is every Saturday. I need to start talking about this. I'm sorry. I just figured I need to start saying this, but we have this amazing podcast that you can watch. It's called The Unseen Realm. If you're on my Facebook or on my YouTube, you'll see me post, and we appreciate. Is there anything you guys would like to talk about? A few more minutes, like that you want to make sure people know about? Destiny and Michael.
Yeah, certainly. At Deep South, be sure to stop by our table. We do have a great selection of jewelry and different little articles on our table. And don't forget, we will be having the haunted object that was featured on our episode on the TV show Repossessed. And also Gettysburg, September the 20th.
Guess what? 2 weeks after this,
Yeah, 2 weeks
Oh.
after Deep South, we'll be in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania,
for the
at
Warrens.
the Warren Seekers of the Supernatural.
Oh, you're going. I forgot you're going to
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, oh, I want to go to that.
Well, come on.
Wow, you're gonna have a booth and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. You guys live in the best area over on that side. Everything's over on that side. Wow. I hope to go to that one day. I really, 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 really want to go to that.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are lucky. So what day is that? September 20th?
It's the last weekend in the month. Let me go to my calendar. I can pull it up real quick for you.
Okay.
It's October the 28th and 29th.
Oh, that's my birthday.
Yeah.
Oh,
October
happy
20th.
early birthday.
Thank you, and I can't go.
Oh.
I'll watch it. I wonder if it's gonna have a live stream too, or I'll be checking all that out because I want to go to that event. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, and I hope everybody go to these events. Go to her event. Go to their event. They got 2 coming up, so everybody make sure you show up or at least join in on their Facebook.
Yes.
Friend them on TikTok and all that, and yeah, check out everything they have because this is a really cutting edge couple here. They're cutting edge, they're real people, and they're really doing good work in the paranormal field. And they're just real. They're good. They're really good. So be sure and follow them. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a beautiful night. Bless you. Thank you so much.
Good night.